Good evening, Geek Nation. I'm George, and this is That Geek Show, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest stuff coming from movies, TVs, collecting, video games, and tech. And I'm coming to you live from different locations because I had some crazy problems when I came home. But with me today, as always, to break down all this cool stuff is my brother from another mother, Calvin, that statue fanatic. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? I'm freaking so excited today.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm really pumped today. We got some good stuff coming today. All right, and then back for another appearance, as always, here to talk about his belt more than likely, is my man, the Pop Knight, Seth. What's up, Seth?
What's poppin', everybody? It's Monday night, and we are live.
You know, bro, I'm coming to take that belt back this Friday. You know that, right?
The only thing you're going to be taking is that walk back to the unemployment line, buddy.
Oh, no, I don't feel that, bro. I ain't feeling that at all. All right, and then he's been gone for a couple of weeks now, man. We've missed him. We missed him on the show, bro. But Captain Puerto Rico is back to save us. What's up, Eric? How are you, bro?
What's going on, guys? It's a pleasure to be back, and I gotta say, George, you killed it with that poster, man. You really made me look like Captain Puerto Rico, and I just want to go ahead and take this moment to thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll show everybody that poster in a minute.
Do we really need to bring up that poster? Because actually, everybody else looks really cool but me. Okay, I'm looking like I'm getting probed or something, and I mean,
there you guys
I don't
go.
know, man.
There's the poster right there. I think Seth looks the best in my opinion. Will you guys believe me? That's how I feel about it. Anyway.
He's front and center, man. What is he talking about?
Exactly. I still feel, in my opinion, that Calvin looks the best out of everyone on that poster. He has that Professor X, Doctor Strange thing going on. He's like I look into his eyes, and it's like he's staring into my soul.
Okay, move on.
Brings their own flair.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
All right, and then the man of hour that we have here today. You know, a special guest, really pumped to have him here. One of the most amazing sculptors that I know. This is Daniel Bel. How are you, Daniel?
Hey guys, how are you? It's a huge pleasure to be here, man. Thanks for everything.
Man, we are pumped to have you on the show. We can't even express that feeling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is all. You know, we were really excited to have you here. We have a crazy amount of questions to ask you. I know Calvin's going to head this up. He's got the majority of them in front of him. We are going to be taking questions from the chat, you know, so I want to give shout outs to everybody that's here right now. We got 34 waiting and watching. Got Chris Eaton. We got Josue Otero, Future of Oz with us. Spicer's here. Big D, Charles, Roy, Junior Statue Collector, Mashari, Vic. Seth is even in the chats because he's not big enough just to be on the show. He needs to be in the chats also. We got mad people in the chats here, man. You know, cool, glad you guys can all show us and hang out with us. So, Calvin, man, get the show going, bro.
Yeah, man. Daniel, again, man, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you know this, man, but you're like a household name when it comes to this game. I think I first came about knowing you when I saw the Black Panther. I've always been looking for a Black Panther statue, and I saw that one, man, and one of my favorite statues. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How did you get into this? Because you're so good at what you do.
Okay, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Well, it took me many years, you know, to be where I am right now, to become a sculptor. And so many times, you know, I think it was almost by accident. I found this profession that I'm doing right now by accident. And I don't know, maybe it was meant to be, I don't know. But I started my career around 15 years ago. And one of my first job connected with the 3D world was engineering. I did engineering stuff, doing plans with AutoCAD. It's a kind of software to make plans, a very boring software. And then I realized that, you know, I want to become a 3D artist and make more artistic things. So I tried with different fields, like I moved to architectural things, and then video games and advertising. I did some animation stuff and some modeling things, some texturing, you know, all the 3D things that usually 3D artists usually do. Until I know this sculpting work. You know, I always like character modeling, but at the beginning I didn't feel that I was ready to become a professional, because I didn't have all those natural talents that I was I knew that I had to have to become a professional. So I decided to take a course, a traditional course, sculpting, and it was awesome, because thanks to that course, I discovered the collective work. This kind of gigantic and crazy and I knew all the collectors, artists, companies, and I've been working for like I told you, for many years in the CG arts, but I didn't know how important was the comic culture until then, So
Yeah.
immediately when I discovered that, I started putting more time, more hours in learning this new kind of things about sculpting things. This new software. It was ZBrush. It is ZBrush right now. I think it's the most used software for making sculpting things. And I just try to put more hours and hours and study new things related to that. And I understood that it was just hours of time. I needed to put more focus on the training and anatomy, in proportions, in all the stuff that traditional sculptors that they have, because nowadays we have this kind of versus, it's a traditional sculpting versus digital sculpting, and all those problems that the digital artists we have. But at the end of the day, you realize that it's the same. You will have to you have to know all the things that the traditional artists have. So I started working in some personal stuff. I did a Beowulf sculpture. I was do you remember that? It was it was an idea of my wife. She was studying some poems about Beowulf, I don't know. And so she told me, "Hey, Daniel, you love anatomy, you love characters, so why you don't just sculpt a guy holding a snake, a giant snake, a naked guy?" And I did it, and I learned a lot in the process. I discovered that I enjoyed so much working on that thing, much more than my previous jobs. And after I finished the statue, I posted in every social media, and I used some 3D websites like ArtStation, ZBrush Central, and other things. And people, collectionists and or regular people who don't collect, other artists, friends, family, everyone helped me to share my work to everywhere. So I think that my the way that I started was a lot of I always want to say thank you to all the people who push me, who motivate me, who told me, "Okay, Daniel, you can do it. You don't have all those natural abilities, but it's about passion. It's about sacrifice. So if you put all those things together, maybe you will have some luck." And the good thing of all this is I still have a long path ahead.
Yeah.
So many things to learn, to polish, to improve, to do, many stages to do, and this is just the beginning. So I'm so excited about all the things that the future has prepared for me. I hope so.
That's awesome.
You sound like you're a jack of all trades, man. Like you got all angles covered. I mean, it's actually, speaking from someone who's not really artistic. I mean, it's incredible to see the work that you do. I mean, and the skill that's involved and everything that comes with it, and the patience. You got to have patience, which are clearly something I don't have for anybody that knows me. But it's amazing the work that you do. I gotta say it's fantastic.
Thanks.
Daniel,
Thanks.
what I got from that story, it was just you have so much support from the people that surround you, and
Totally.
it just provides more encouragement for you to continue doing what you love to do, and I think that's great.
Yeah. I think if I didn't have any of those support from my family, friends, or people that even I didn't met, and they send me message by Facebook or any other social media, saying, "Okay, Daniel, you can do it." Because I'm from Argentina, I'm from South America, and we have a kind of stigma, the South American people, that we can't do some things because we are not big enough, we are not good enough.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, we grew up with that in mind from the school, from that people telling you, okay, you have to find a job like a regular one, you have to become a doctor or lawyer or engineering, any of those things, because if you choose a path, any kind of artistic path, you will start, because it won't work, because that is for people who lives in the main countries like the States or Europe, or so it's cool to have this chance nowadays to say to people, you can do it too, because if I did it, and now I'm working for what I think is one of the best and biggest companies in the collective world. If I did it, you can do it. There is no limit, there is no boundaries. I'm not trying to send a cute message. It's the truth. But again, like you said, I receive a lot of support from my parents, brother, my wife, from people who basically you care about that. You care about their opinions, what they because a lot of people will tell you, okay, you can't do it, and maybe if you hear all the voices, you will say, okay, maybe they have right, maybe I'm not prepared for this. But when you have that particular support from people who you love, it's super motivating.
Awesome. I think it shows in your work, man, because when we were in San Diego, I mean, I enjoyed talking to you, but we got to hear all of the people's comments that were walking around looking at your pieces, man, and you were just wowing people with the work you did. So all of that support and the time that you put into it, man, it really shows in your work. And I know Captain Puerto Rico there, Eric is like dying to get that Captain America statue.
Oh yeah.
So we actually got some questions coming in from the chat. Daniel, Diego Hernandez wants to know, what was your first sculpt?
My first sculpt, it was Beowulf. Beowulf. It was my of course it was my first one. I mean, it was the first sculpt that I finished and that I showed to people, like a finished thing. I tried and I failed so many times before Beowulf that I lost the count. It's like even when I say I failed, I'm still failing all the time in my daily work, and I think thanks to that, I always end in a better result. I mean, there is some people. Maybe sometimes you see some videos on internet of artists doing, a sculpture and speed sculpt, and they just make 2 or 3 or 4 mistakes, and you say, "Wow, this is magic!" And this guy is a super, is the best artist in the world, and maybe he is. And if some people could see my workflow, they will say, "Okay, this guy sucks, man. This guy is terrible because I fail a lot." Yeah, but I think that having the chance to take the time to see why I fail and try to fix that thing, I think at the end of the day, the result is what the people like, what the people love. So I'm so glad with that.
We got Gem Mint Collectibles in the house. He wants to know, Daniel, what's your dream piece to sculpt for Sideshow?
Oh man, I can't say. You know why? Because I
Oh,
already did.
come on.
I'm excited. I'm just smiling from ear to ear here, but yeah.
I mean,
Find out soon.
I'm
yeah.
sure, Daniel, in due time, we all will know what it is. In due time.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of characters that every artist I know they wanted to do. Like, for example, like Batman and Superman. Everyone wants to sculpt those statues because are maybe are the biggest names, and not just the biggest names, are very cool characters. I love.
Yeah.
I think Batman is one of my favorites. One. But Martin Canale, probably his work. He did an awesome job with all the Batman's statues that he did for Sideshow. He recently did a 1/4 scale premium format Batman. It looks awesome. And Steve Lord did a Superman. So I think that at the moment. I want to work on those statues, but I would love to in the future to ask Sideshow if he'll let me to work on Batman, Superman, or any of those most well-known characters.
Oh, if you did what you did on Captain America, I can only imagine what you could do on Superman, dude.
You mentioned that Canale was one of your inspirations when we were talking in San Diego.
Oh yeah, definitely he is. Well, he's from Argentina, so he's one of my best friends here, and at the same time, he's one of my biggest inspirations. Because when I start, like I told you, when I discovered this a giant collectible worth, one of the biggest names at that time, it was Martin Canale, and I say, who is Martin Canale? And people just told me, do you know who Martin Canale is? And I said, no. So I started digging about the work that he did in the past. I think he has been working for Sideshow for 15 years. So he did a lot of statues, and he started with traditional sculpting, and then he moved to digital sculpting. But the thing is, he has some great statues, and when you have the chance to meet the person behind the artist, and you realize that he's an amazing guy, you say, okay, I love this guy, so it becomes immediately your one of your inspirations. I think it's a kind of package that you have to say, okay, I love this guy, and I will take it as a reference because he's a good guy, he's an amazing artist, and he's from Argentina, so all the things.
Yeah, Jim, again, Jim Mitten in the chat, he said, would it be difficult for you to work on a character that you didn't absolutely love if you were asked to do it, like from Sideshow or something, or could you find a way to do that character?
Yeah, the thing is, the good part to work with Sideshow, at least for me, is that I have the chance to choose my projects. And sometimes when the art director come to me and say, okay, Daniel, we have this character for you. What do you think about? If I like it, I say, great, man, awesome. I want to do it right now. And if I don't like it and I don't feel anything about that character, I say it. And most of the time, the guys swap that character to other artists who basically want to sculpt it. Because otherwise, I mean, if you don't love it, you will see it in the result, in the end. That's why I don't work with robot sculpting or female sculpting. I mean, I know that I can do it because I have, I can say, the knowledge to do it, but I don't feel anything when I am sculpting. And I wanted to, right now I'm doing some things that I can't say, but I'm doing some things, and I love it, and I can say how important it is for an artist to love what they do, because otherwise you will do a crap sculpture or maybe just one more of the bunch. I don't know. I think you have to, if you have the chance to, to pick what you want to sculpt, it's super cool. And I have that chance, so I'm so glad to have that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you're really passionate about what you do and you enjoy it, that's when I feel your best work comes through.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, and I'm sure, just like anybody else, you're learning as you go. And the more you evolve, the more better the pieces get, and then I can only fathom what comes from there. So
yeah.
What would you say your most challenging sculpt is?
Like I said, it's like you will see, if you really enjoy the statue, you will see it in the end. The result will speak for itself.
I think that's why Thor just captivated everybody at Comic-Con. I mean, it was like, where the hell did this come from? It was amazing.
Would you, Daniel?
You stood there and you just stared at that statue like, whoa.
Trying to get in here for a question, guys.
But one thing I wanted to say was that I was really impressed when you were standing there talking and these people were coming up to talking to you. You were honestly asking their opinion about your work. And in my experience, artists can be very temperamental. They don't typically like to hear criticism about their work. So let me ask you this. Do you have any examples of where you took feedback from your fans and actually changed something you were working on?
I have some examples, but I can't say because I am doing that in my current statues. No,
we're really asking the hard-hitting questions tonight. We're gonna get
no, and I appreciate that because we did speak a little bit about that. But if there are any, even some projects that you worked on that.
Oh, well, this is something that, for example, Captain America, Daredevil was my first two. Then Thor King. So I hear some things, the bad opinions about Captain America and Daredevil, and people was complaining about the suit, about there is too many things going on. So of course you can't please everyone. You can't.
Right.
But if you take an average opinion for everyone and you say, okay, maybe the collection is now looking for something more classic. In terms of suit, they don't want to relate that statue with the movies or that statue with any other license or whatever. So if you take a look on Thor, you will notice that Thor is wearing more a classic suit. Mm-hmm. We take as a reference on the Sad Rivik drawings. It's not really, probably it's an amazing drawer. He's one of my favorite artists, 3D artists. So we said, okay, maybe we can try with this, because we have the chance to make a more complex suit, more like a movie, or more like Captain America with so many things going on. But at the same time, if you put too many things, you will hide what I most love, which is anatomy. So if you can see, Thor is he has his arm with no anything that cover his arm, and he's like even the torso has a tight kind of shirt, leather shirt, so you can see the anatomy, the volumes, and I think that I personally take the opinions of going a little bit more. Not too many things in the suit, or more classic stuff, and we are trying to do some. It's not experiment, but we are trying to hear more of people, the complaints, and all the things they love, and putting that in the statue. It's very complicated because you have to fulfill all the expectation from every people, from every collectionist, because there's some people who basically they don't know anything about the character. They buy it because they like it, and that's cool. That's very cool, because I found some people at the event at the Comic-Con telling me, "Okay, Daniel, I don't like Thor, but I want that statue." And for me, it's awesome because you are like breaking a barrier, the barrier from the pure fan. I mean, there is not just the fan of Thor, want to buy that statue. There is some other people who don't
Right.
love Thor. They want that statue, and that for me that's awesome. So I think that some things that I hear from people and apply to that piece really works. So yeah.
You feel like it's more of a compliment to your art rather than just somebody going like, well, that's Thor, I need that. It's more of like, I look at it, I appreciate it for the art for what it is, not necessarily the character. And I think that speaks more volume.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got Jorge Villar in the chat. Daniel, he wants to know, what's your biggest challenge in the sculpt process and character creation these days?
That's a good question. I think that the most challenging part is the pose, is expression. It's to create something that people could feel it. Sometimes I love a lot of statues from other artists, and I love it more when there is. I don't care how many things, how many details it has, how many things going on. I love it when the posture, the body gesture and expression makes me feel something that I want to keep taking a look at it, or just wanted to say, okay, I have to buy this statue, like you say, Eric. So I think the most challenging part is a pose, is to create a pose. Something that you can immediately relate it to that character. For example, if you work in a Wolverine, and if you make it super stand and with a wide pose, you would say that's not Wolverine. Wolverine is a short guy, a bulky guy, like approaching. So you have to do like that, and that makes a challenge for you, because you have to look to every character what represents in the comic, in his world, and try to put it in the statue without thinking on the details, on the textures, on the color, on all the things, just the silhouette, So I think that this is the most difficult part for me.
Is there any one statue that you would say was more challenging than the others?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, Thor is a good example of that, and because for Thor, I have a little anecdote. It's when Seisho told me that I would be in that project, I freak out, because I love Thor. He's a great character. He's a tall guy, bulky guy. So people love it, But at the same time, I didn't see too many statues in dynamic poses. So the initial concept was a little bit more classic, more museum pose. Not too museum, but it was a kind of hybrid thing between dynamic and museum. So I asked to Sideshow if they allowed me to suggest a new idea. And they said, yeah, sure, go for it. And I sketched it. I did a rough sketch of the Thor that you are seeing now, that we're producing now. And I showed them, and they take a look, and they say, yeah, I like it. So they sent to Marvel. Marvel approved it, and everybody happy, and we made it. But the thing was that I had a big weight in my shoulders, because it is a big statue, and we have to play with the base, with all the things. It's like a puzzle. We have to make it dynamic, that you can feel the strength on all the things that are happening in that kind of. It's a kind of diorama. It's a mini diorama. But at the same time, you have to save space. Because otherwise it will be super expensive. Will take too much space for your shelf. So it was a challenge in the statue. In all the things, we wanted to create a kind of again, taking into consideration all the opinions and suggestions from the people, since Captain America to Daredevil to this one, and I tried to put all those things together, and it was a huge challenge. And when I discovered the first day that the sideshow released that video, and the reaction of the people was so awesome. I didn't expect that it was so incredible reaction in a good way. I mean, after that, it's like I feel a relief because all that weight finally I think it was a cool move, a good decision to change that, the concept to this new pose. But again, every site has their own challenge in itself. But Thor is a good example of these things going on.
Cool, very cool. So your dream piece, going back to that dream piece we've all been wanting to hear about, will that make an appearance at New York Comic Con?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, George.
I said, will that dream piece of yours be making an appearance at New York Comic Con?
What he said, George is cutting out a little bit. What he said was, George was saying, would that dream piece that everybody's asking about in the chat make an appearance at New York Comic Con?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, George. I couldn't hear you, but I know I hear Calvin. Oh yeah. I'm sure the guys. I'm sure the guys are making a huge effort to bring these new statues, some of my dream pieces to the Comic Con, to New York Comic Con. They are having some. I know I can't say anything.
I'm excited. I know it's a few of us in the chat, and myself and Seth will all be there, man. And I can't wait, man, to show that to people if it's there. But New York is going to be an exciting time too, man. You've got a lot of love in the chat, man. People are talking about they buy your stuff simply because not even that they're not even comic fans, but they buy it because of the artistic presentation of it. And then one person was asking something about well, I want to know digital sculpting versus hand sculpting, traditional sculpting. Do you have a preference?
Well, I tried traditional sculpting and I love it, and I can say that I love, if I have to choose, I will pick traditional sculpting because you are working with the clay, with your hands. It's more traditional. It's more like it's like an ancient, way to do the things. But if I have to look with my, professional eyes in terms of how things for me works better, I will always pick digital because, with digital, I can work from my home, from every part of the world. It doesn't matter. The only thing that I need is power, electricity, and a computer, and that's all. Mm-hmm. And I don't need to export any statue, unpack, and pray to arrive to sideshow in good conditions. I just, when I finish something, I send an image on a file through the internet, and it's done. So there's a lot of things that digital has. It is better than traditional, and traditional better than digital. I think at the end of the day, people think there's some people that they believe that digital artists, we press a button and then a statue comes out, already all the things, all the details did it, and that's not how it works. We have to have the same knowledge of the traditional sculptors, but this will be an endless fight, endless versus like digital versus traditional. It was like many years ago when the first when the photography comes out, and the guys who paint the painters said, okay, this will never replace. And some things like digital sculpting, we don't want to replace anything. It just, the market has some, the market moves so fast, and you have to be all the time updated. And if you want to work for bigger companies, or even if you want to do anything, you have to know all the tools, and then you decide if you wanted to do it the traditional or digital. Nowadays, every company is looking for digital artists because they can work for, if you're in Russia and you work for the States, you can do it. You don't want to send anything by plane and wait until it arrive and then go back again with the feedback. Is faster. Is I don't know. I think it's just different, and you can do both. It's not no one is better than the other one.
Gotcha.
Do you feel more satisfied when you complete something digitally or when you do something that's hand sculpted?
Well, the thing is that I never had the chance to complete anything at the same level in traditional like I do in digital, because you have to be super professional. For example, Mark Newman is a good example of that. I don't know how he can handle all those small details and without breaking anything, and do. I mean, he's a traditional sculptor, and I can't do the same in traditional, the same things that I do in digital. Of course, people could say it's because of practice. Yeah, I practice. I like I said, I took a course from traditional, and it's awesome. But I don't feel like everyone it's ready to it's prepared to finish a traditional sculpture as the same as you can do it in digital. You have to have a lot of skills. I don't know. I mean, sometimes when I want to move away from technology a little bit, I grab some clay and I start playing. But it is some forms. I can make some shapes and it's cool. But if we're talking as a professional, I will always go for the digital way, because otherwise I will have no job in this industry. Yeah.
I mean, we all know that you're an amazing sculptor and all of that stuff, but what I want to know is, are you a collector as well? And if you are a collector, what pieces have you collected that you absolutely love?
Oh man, I hope to don't break any heart, but honestly, I'm not a collector. But the only statues that I collect, that I have, are the ones that I usually sculpt. Because my real passion is not collecting, is sculpting them.
Mm-hmm.
So I love statues, and I really admire the work of other artists. And sometimes I say, oh, I would love to have that statue in my shelf. But
Go ahead.
yeah.
You mentioned other artists.
Yeah.
Just referring back to the question that Gemman had, he mentioned what other sculptors are you a fan of?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well I'd say Martin Canale, but Steve Lord, William Harbottle, and Scott Eden. There is a lot of names in the industry, but I love the ones who really can deal very well with anatomy, because there is one thing that we always say between artists, is that nowadays there is a lot of artists that can sculpt details, small details, textures, and beautiful things in terms of detailed pieces, and that's cool. But not everyone can catch a moment, an in-between moment of a pose, or a natural look of a posture of a body, for proportions. There is a few artists that I love, like Mark Newman, like I said, that I love to how they deal with that. So yeah, Martin Canale, William Harbottle, Steve Lord again, Mark Newman, and of course the Asian one, the classic one, Bernini, and all the Asians that we know, because sculpting comes with years of background. So there is a lot of people out there.
And to kind of piggyback on the posing, I'm not sure if you covered this previously, but you mentioned that some people were having issues with the Captain America and the pose. Can you maybe explain where the pose comes from, or the origin that inspired you to put Captain in such a dynamic pose, or
of Captain America, you say, right?
Yes, Captain America.
We try to, Captain America is always a kind of if you kind of imagine him, is a kind of heroic guy. He's always beating all the bad guys with his shield and with his bare hands, and he's a strong guy. So we say, okay, maybe we can represent him in an heroic pose. Like we can go to the centuries ago and see what the Romans did. So we found this kind of pose that in the classic sculpture we call contrapposto, which is basically if you can draw a line between on the middle of the body, and you will take a look to both sides, you will notice that both sides are completely different in every angle. I mean, his arm are twisted, both arms from different positions to the front and the back, and his waist, and he's trying to to put the chest to the front, and all the things that he's doing he's representing like the heroic sculpting, Greek sculpture. So I think we try to go for that way instead of just throwing the shield or raising his hand with a flag or with a, which is cool.
What Eric did in that poster, right?
but I mean, there is a lot of statues nowadays in the market that has that pose. So we don't want to copy again the same thing with a different suit, because we have plenty of poses to keep playing with. So we never saw a kind of pose like that, and we thought it was a good idea, and most of the people love it, and I really appreciate that because it's different, and sometimes different is good, sometimes it's not, but the majority of people really love it, so I'm happy about it.
So I just wanted you to clarify that, because I like to pose, and I wanted people to know where it originated from, not just like a random, hey, look, it's me, Cap, with my chest out. No, there was a reason why you did that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So we got Charles Carroza asking, Daniel, on your face sculpts, he says he sees a lot of Randy Bowen in them. Did you get any inspiration from his work?
Honestly, I love Randy's work about how he deal with the proportions, but I didn't know that, honestly. I didn't know that I have a relation with the face that he did. Honestly, I never see that. I usually took a lot of a reference from, for example, Jim Lee. I love Jim Lee, what how he draw, Logan's face and all those kind of very sharp corner and square portraits, but not from Andy, from him. He's awesome, but I love more what he did with the proportions and for the certain characters, but not about his portrait.
Absolutely. Nightcrawler keeps coming up at least a half a dozen times in the chat, and I don't think there's a quarter scale Nightcrawler out there from any of the companies. How do you feel about Nightcrawler? Is it a character that you've followed or enjoyed or would like to do at some point?
Nightcrawler is the one of X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe because I hear about it. Okay. I think it's an awesome character for making a good dynamic pose. But honestly, I'm not related too much about his stories, his background. I want to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not a comic reader, so this is horrible, I know. But the thing is that when I receive the approval of what character I will be working for, I do a deep research on that character, and then I realize all the things and I try to highlight all the main features that he has. And about Nightcrawler, I don't know too much about that character, but I think he's a very good one for making a great dynamic pose.
You'd be surprised, I think, at the number of people that buy statues that aren't actually comic book readers as well. They buy it because they love the art, and a number of people that even in the chat, have said that they don't know anything about certain characters, but they will buy them because of the art.
Yeah, that's cool. Same as here. It's when I say this that I don't a comic fan. I mean, I love the characters. I really love, but I didn't have the chance to grow up reading comics because maybe the main reason it's in Argentina it was always difficult to get one of those because we imported those things from different part of the world, and the comics comes from the States. And that time, many years ago, it was so difficult to bring comics to Argentina. So, and it was expensive at that time too. So maybe that's why I didn't grow up reading comics, and now I prefer more to make a research. And when I have to sculpt one of those guys, and yes, at that time I buy comics, and I understand more sometimes why people love so much certain characters. Yeah.
I mean, in a boom with the movies now, you have a lot of new people getting into these characters because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC movies. But to go on with what you mentioned as far as not having any kind of influence growing up, John Medina had a great question. He said, how difficult is it to keep your artistic touch and make the licensor happy? I feel like you put more of your touch into these sculpts because haven't really been influenced, or you're not necessarily a fan of these characters, but you love sculpting them. So is it hard to keep a balance between artistic touch and keeping your bosses happy?
Well, I will say this, and people will think that I'm trying to be super nice with Sideshow because I'm part of the Sideshow team. But I mean, working with them is so easy, man. It's so easy. I don't want to say that because I'm part of the team, but if I sometimes with the bosses don't like anything, we have a huge team of people there pushing towards to make the artist happy. Because if the artist is happy, like we talked before, you will see it in the result. And if you're not happy enough, it's because it's not the project for you, and maybe you can move to other project, or maybe you need some help from other people who will enjoy more doing what you're doing now. So I didn't have that problem at the moment, and I hope to never have that kind of a situation that have to to push anything because just is a work, or because my bosses want it. So we always try to suggest inside the team. I mean, we suggest feedbacks and ideas about the things we are doing, and try to push in the way that everybody is happy with the result. So when we have the support of the team, it's easier because you don't deal with that way, and in my case, I don't know if I'm lucky or what, but I didn't have that problem.
Nice.
Yeah, occasionally, Sideshow, they do release some 1/5 scale statues and things like that. So do you exclusively work on quarter scale figures, or do you plan to woodwork on smaller scale?
At the moment, I'm working just on the 1/4 scale because I think, I don't know, maybe because I asked that, and the guys, because I mean, 1/5 scale, they usually, I think there was the last 1/5 scale was the Avengers.
Avengers,
ensemble. Yeah. And Igor Caro, he's a great sculptor. I forgot to mention him. He's a guy from Brazil, and he almost sculpted the whole entire line, 1/5 scale. So I don't know. Maybe I will work in a different kind of things with different scales in the future. But right now, I have a list of characters for 1-4 scale, and that will take a lot of my time doing that. So I prefer more 1-4 scale. You know,
Right.
if I can choose, I would choose.
Do you feel like there's anything that you can improve on in your sculpts? And if you ever reach an area, like if you ever reached the pinnacle in your talent, what would you do next?
Well, man, I would love to, for improving my abilities. I always that's why I ask to the people at the event, the Comic Con, what things they don't like and what things they like, because sometimes you don't understand how you can improve it and how you can become better or change things. And the real thing is that my main goal right now, it's the same goal that I have from the beginning, is making the best statues as possible. And that it's something that it takes time. Sometimes with the same idea, with the same goal, I will fail because I'm human and we have a team full of great artists, great people, but we are trained to make the best statues as we can. But the thing is that to keep improving myself, I need to understand what things I'm doing wrong. And when a statue come out and I have the chance to see the reaction of the people, and sometimes, you can't please everyone, but at the same time you can hear everyone and see what they have to say, and then take that into advantage and try to become better and better. And so I don't know if you answer your question, but my idea is to keep up working until be more happy when a statue comes out and you say, okay, I love 99% of what I did. Sometimes nowadays I say, okay, I love 70% of what I did, and 30% is terrible. I don't know why I did it, and if I have the chance to change it, I will take that chance. My idea is to reduce that reach of the things that I do, that I fail, and do it better.
Daniel, just to get off topic for a second, a dude in the comment wants to know who do you think is better, Lionel Messi or Diego Maradona?
I will. If I answer that, I would do it. I will receive a lot of insults and new enemies in Argentina and in Europe. I would say Messi. You know why?
Right.
Because you know why? And this is you can put this in the same field as the artist. For me, an artist, or in this case, a sportman, it's a package. It is what is inside of the field and outside of the field. This guy, Leo Messi, is a great guy, he's a great soccer player. And Maradona, he was an amazing soccer player, but he's a shit talker. So I don't love the people who who's that? I know I'm making new enemies.
No, that's all. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we got any more questions here? Anybody?
Well, people are saying, since I just asked Daniel that question, I think I just got him killed. So I guess sports must be like ultra competitive down there.
Oh yeah, it is. We have our worst enemy in Argentina is Brazil. In the football, in soccer, of course, no.
We ask the hard-hitting questions here on MCE.
Literally. Well, the work is great, and especially when you love what you do. But even working at something that you love, you probably need downtime. And you just mentioned sports there. So, what other things do you do to unwind? I know you're a new father and things like that.
Yeah, well, I love to spend time with my family, friends, and do some, basic things to just to rest, to give a rest to my mind, to my brain. But if I have to choose one thing, I love to. I'm a huge video games fan and movie fans too. So when I have time, I love to play video games to put my brain a little bit away from the work or watch movies, whatever. And I don't know if you are a video games fan, but I'm so excited about Spider-Man video game coming.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're all waiting on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, and Red Dead Redemption 2, man, in October, 18th of October. So, yeah, I hope Saisho is not watching this, but I will save some time for those games.
Get back to work. No time for playing video games.
That's awesome.
So what kind of movies? So what kind of movies are you into? Just off topic.
What kind of movies? I love
Yeah.
all the superhero movies. I love them, but I think that I love, for example, John Wick. I love those.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool.
And now the new movie Equalizer 2 is coming out. I think it's the one Denzel Washington. I think Washington.
Yes.
Yeah.
Equalizer. Yep, that was a great movie.
I love the first one, and I'm sure I will love this one too. So yeah, I love those kind of movies, action, science fiction movies, and things that those kind of fun movies.
Cool.
Mhm.
So we got a question in the chat. I have to pose this question a certain way. So the question is that after you won the ZBrush contest for a certain Magneto, how did Sideshow? What was? How did Sideshow feel about that when they hired you on? Did they have an issue with that, or were they cool with it?
Yeah, at that time I didn't have any contract with them. I was working. I started my relationship with them. So. And it was a different moment too. So they didn't say anything about that. But it's a difficult time for fun arts or people who work on custom because they are. I understand when I started working for companies, I really understood how negative is for the collective work. The thing, or maybe for the companies, how much damage those stages does to the companies. And when you grow up as an artist and you become part of the company, and you want to progress, and to become a name, they feel you can keep working on those fields. So you have to be responsible and say, okay, thanks for everything that you helped me with my career to give an exposure to my name and all the things that I learned. But if there is something that makes some damage to the in the companies that I'm working now, I can't keep doing it. So Saisho at that time was very open and they didn't say anything. They understood the situation, and they never told me anything. But I'm trying to at that time I tried to say, okay, maybe it's time to stop working in things that do some damage to the companies, to the small ones and to the big ones. You don't realize that until you work inside and see all the things that they invest, license, and the employees in all the things. I still having friends who work on the fun arts, and it's okay, but I can't support anything no more that fun art, stuff. So it's a little bit. It's not nice for anyone because some people start working on that without knowing that you're causing damage I didn't know at that time, honestly. I didn't know. Um, and that Magneto and that the ZBrush Awards, again, I think it helped me. It always helped. In the case of for the ZBrush Awards, like I always say, to win a trophy, it won't make you more a better artist. It just will give you more exposure. And that particular trophy with the Magneto really helped me to say, maybe show that I was ready for work for them. I don't know. And then some rules changed it with the time, and that's okay, man. Rules are rules, and this market, it's evolving all the time, and I think that you have to be very careful about all the things that you do, because it sometimes it has a bad impact in companies, and at the end of the day, the collectors, you guys, you will are paying for that too. So yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, so we got another question. Vic is asking, Daniel, do you watch wrestling? And if so, who would you love to sculpt? Need a quarter scale Undertaker, LOL.
I don't watch wrestling, but I watch MMA. I love UFC.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love
There you
UFC. I love UFC, and I love Conor McGregor, of course, because he's one of the best. And
Would he be someone interested in that? If you had the opportunity, you can make a statue of
who?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. I have a friend who is a sculptor who made a Conor McGregor months ago, and he did a great work on that. But the thing is that I never tried. I tried a couple of times doing realistic portraits.
Okay.
A very realistic portrait that has to be exactly the same, and it's cool. But when you have, this is very technical, but when you move and half of an inch of nose toward to the left, right, the face is completely different. So I avoid to suffer that thing. I leave I leave that perfection to the guys who really are amazing with that. So I prefer more to create things that I'm taking from the comic books. So it doesn't to be perfect, but just an interpretation of the character that. So yeah, maybe I would try for when I have more spare time to make.
Just piggyback on the last question before that, I guess it's more of a statement, and that when you were mentioning fan art and getting to where you are now, it sounds like it's sort of a double-edged sword, because a lot of great artists come to prominence because of the work that they did earlier or whatever. But
yeah, the thing is that it's a little bit ambiguous, because if you are starting with your career, nobody would. The bigger companies, they won't. Probably they won't take a look into portfolio, because you're like a newbie, like an amateur. But the thing is that if your work it's the same from the movies. If you want to make a piracy with movies and work for the people who are not paying license, at the end of the day, you will pay the price when you want to become part of a bigger company, and that company will tell you, okay, you can't be part of us. But the thing is that for us, as I told you before, we are from, in my case, and I have a lot of friends from South America who they wanted to become professional artists and work for the bigger companies, and they think they can, because if you don't work in the customs, or if you don't work and those kind of things, you won't have the chance. But my advice to them is, make it as a fun art, as a real fun art, make it as your portfolio. Of course it's tough, because at the same time you have to make a profit. So you say, okay, I will spend 2 months and I won't receive anything. Yeah, but there's a price that you have to pay if you want to. Then with the years, you want to become part of the company, and the price now is that take it as a portfolio. Just focus on your portfolio, and I don't want to put against me any of my friends from the past, from the customs, but the thing is, it's a real. We can avoid that. It's a real thing that, like I said before, for the artists. I don't want to talk too much about that particularly, but my advice is put more your time doing portfolio and avoid the piracy stuff, because at the end of the day, will cost you to not have a job in the industry. That's a real thing.
Someone is dying to ask this question. He's asked it a few times. It's about anime. He says, do you watch anime, and what anime characters would you create a statue of if you could choose any of them?
Okay, I don't watch too much anime, but I love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball, and I recently was watching a little bit of One Punch Man. Is One Punch Man? Yeah,
One Punch Man, yeah.
One Punch Man, and those kind of stuff. A time ago I did a Piccolo for fun art, and I tried to make it a little bit more realistic, and people hate it. There is a lot of people who say, "Oh, I love it," but most people who is really fan of the anime and Dragon Ball, they say, "Why you did that? You ruined it. It's awful. It's terrible. It looks almost like a movie." And I say, "Okay, it's not looking like a movie, but you have to be very careful when you do anime, because it has to be looks exactly the same as like the anime looks." So this is a company. I think it's Sume Art. I don't know.
Yeah.
They do fantastic work with anime stuff. I don't think that I will work on that. I love what I do right now with my style. I think I have with the pass of the years and the sculpts, I developed a style which is basically a kind of a mix between realism and comic, and I want to keep polishing that style, and I think it only works for the things that I'm doing right now, which is basically superheroes. But I don't know, maybe in the future I'll try to do another thing, but not now. Yep.
Cool. I gotta imagine that doing anime into a statue has got to be kind of difficult, just because of the lack of detail, I guess, when you translate to something that big, right?
Yeah,
that's probably why it makes it a little more difficult to do, right?
The anime statue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, George. Can you
break it up?
I don't know why I can't hear you.
No, it's not, I don't know. Sometimes the connection, maybe.
We have some problems.
Yeah. It would not be a That Geek Show without some connection problems.
Coming in and out.
It wouldn't be a technical MCE show if we didn't have any technical
something.
issues.
Crazy.
No, it's okay. But can you repeat again, please?
No, what I said is that I gotta imagine that doing anime, or converting the anime into a statue is kind of difficult, similar to like doing the 80s cartoons into statues, is because of the lack of detail that those had, and when you're trying to make it look exactly like the character.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. In fact, if you can take a look at those anime statues, there is a lot of things that they do on paint instead of sculpt. So you have to take that into account when you're sculpting, that there is some things the guys will paint it instead of make it with details. So it's a little bit difficult. So I mean, I'm not saying that 1/4 scale statues of superheroes super easy to do, but you have different challenges that you don't have in the anime or with the realistic portraits like we were talking about MMA. So you have more freedom to invent, to create. That's the thing that I love working on superheroes, that it doesn't have to be exactly the same as you see it in the comics, because every comic use different artists, so you won't find the same. For example, Captain America. I mean, if you talk about Goku for Dragon Ball, it's always the same. It's almost always the same during 20 years, 30 years. I don't know how many years that anime has. But if you take a look to the Captain America, you will find a lot of different representations from different drawers. So the thing is that thanks to that, you have the chance to work in your own version, taking the average appealing of that character and making your own. So yeah, anime is a little bit more difficult if you have to, be very close to the original one.
True. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Daniel, man, it's been an hour now that we've had you on the show, and I'm happy that you guys hung out with us. I know you're an hour ahead of us, though, right?
Yeah, it's 22, but it's okay for me. Yeah.
Want to go to bed, damn it. No, I'm just like.
Exactly.
We
if you have more
appreciate.
questions, I don't have a problem.
Okay. I mean, you guys anybody have more questions with the chat? Let's see what you guys got. You guys, anybody in the panel? We got more any more things you want to know? Dude, what's your number one? I don't know what. Dude, what do you mean by what's your number?
He was asking another guy in the chat.
Oh, okay.
If you see the @ symbol.
Yeah, I see that. It said @Ed, dude. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate you pointing that out to me.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Sensitive Collector says, Daniel, can you tell us how many projects you are currently working on?
Probably a lot.
The good thing is that I'm working in a project at a time. And I asked that Seisho because in the past I worked on several projects and you lost your focus. You will find some artists that they would say it's better because you can jump. When you block in one, you will jump to the other one and then you resume it, the previous and that. But it didn't work for me, so I asked for working in a project at a time. The only thing that I can say is that I have like 4 projects that I did for Sideshow more that they didn't reveal yet because they're in the production stage. So yeah, but there is many more to come, and the good thing is that I have a huge list of my favorite statues that I will be doing in 1/4 scale for Marvel and DC license from both. I will start doing a little bit more DC stuff, which I love that because I did a lot of Marvel stuff. So I will start doing more DC. Yeah, right now it's just one at a time, and to put all my focus on that. But I have a beautiful list, a full list of a lot of characters.
King Prezi actually has a really good question. What's your opinion on edition size? Do you like them like a small quantity, or do you prefer a larger quantity?
Well, I have. Okay, let me explain, because there is a lot of people who believe, and this is a good chance to explain this. I asked this in Sideshow when someone asked me the same question, and I said, okay, I don't know the difference, because the only thing that I want is that a lot of people around the world have my statue. I mean, the statue that I work for. So I would love to say, okay, I prefer that a lot. If the number is bigger, it's better for me, because my artwork is spreading even more around the world. But there is some guys who told me, okay, Daniel, but you have to take into account that if the number is too big, when they produce that statue in Asia, they will have more fails, because they will have more stuff to taking care. So I said, that's a good point. So I asked that to some guys in Sideshow, and they told me, okay, it's totally the opposite. When the productions, when they have more number, for example, if you have a 100 instead of 1,000. The guy who is painting the eye will do it much better work when they become more professional, doing the same. It's a repetitive work. If you do 50 times, you will do it much better if you do it 200 times. You know what I mean? It makes sense. So the thing is
practice makes perfect. So
yeah, that's the point. And I think
but I want to get the ones they practice on though.
Yeah, but I mean,
high edition size. That's what I want. 2,000.
edition size. Yeah.
No,
well,
what I mean is like I don't want 1 out of 1,000. I want now 1,000 out of 1,000. So I get it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. But the thing is that so people start saying me, okay, but what about QC, quality control? And I don't know why, but they told me that it's better to have a high number of those statues because you will have people more, like you said, more specific job. They will have more practice doing the same thing. In my personal case, I'm not a collector, so I'm not worried about that. So as an artist, I would say if it's much higher, it's better for me because I would love to see more photos of my statues in the different houses. Yeah.
I had a quick question for you, man. If you're working on a project, let's say Thor, how long does it take you from start to finish to complete the project?
Yeah, it's the average time is 2 months.
2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah, that's super slow because I know some other artists who basically, for the same statue, they put a month.
Yeah, I would have expected it to be much longer.
So, yeah, in my personal case, like I said before, I think it's because I fail a lot. I need time to fix that. Sometimes it's not a fail. For example, it's not that I did the eye instead of here, like here. It's like I don't like how, for example, today I'm working in a face and I finish, and tomorrow when I take a look again, I don't like it. So maybe other artists will say, but it's done. So if the guys approve me, it's okay. But in my case, I say, I don't care if they like it. I have to love it, And if I have to love it, I'm sure probably they will like it even more. And that's why I take more time. I put more time in my touches. And one of the biggest that I work for that I can't say what it is, it took me 3 months. So it has a lot of details, and it's I can't
I can't wait.
You will see it.
This is exciting. It's exciting.
Oh, yeah, it is to me.
All right. So I know, Daniel, like I said, you're an hour ahead of us. So I guess what we're going to do is go ahead and wrap it up a little bit here. And
Okay.
And I cannot tell you on behalf of MCE, George, myself, all of us, how grateful you are that you took the time to hang out with us and your fans and answer these questions. That was amazing, man. You said this too when we were at Comic-Con, that sometimes you meet people who are in the public eye and they turn out to be different when you meet them in person, based on their persona. And you're one of those guys. You were the same. So that was pretty awesome.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. I really appreciate your time too. That you. That you wanted to become to make this interview with me. So it's super important as a person and as an artist. So thank to you for your time and yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it.
So, going by the name Captain Puerto Rico, gotta do this right, man. Fue un placer. Gracias por coger tu tiempo con nosotros aquí hoy, explicar lo que usted hace, su arte. We appreciate it. Y muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Yeah, muchas gracias. We say some bad words of you guys, but don't worry, it's okay. You will find out later.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Take
Have a
care.
good night, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Man,
wow,
that
what
was
an awesome guy.
That was
Guy's
so much
great.
fun. That was
What an awesome guy. He did not hold back in any of his answers. I mean, that dude's a trooper, man. A+ in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying, man, you know, you kind of skittish about meeting people because then they have a different persona when you actually meet the person. But he was the same when we met him there. And the chat was awesome, man. The chat had
Yeah.
some really good questions.
It was awesome.
They were on fire tonight.
It was great, man. It's been,
you know,
it's
not
been an
being
awesome
you know, as much of a statue person as you and George are. I'm trying to read these questions and I'm like, okay, use your judgment, Seth. Your really good judgment, and try not to ask the wrong questions.
You did great, man.
There were some in there that I was like, do I want to be that guy? And I'm like, and then I'm like, you know what? George would probably murder me. And,
I think we all did a great job, man. Especially with my mic cutting in and out the way it was. I really appreciate you guys doing what you were doing, man. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was great.
Absolutely.
What a player that guy is, man. I mean, I'm ecstatic. I mean, that's the first time I've ever actually really spoken to an artist. And I mean, I got to tell you something. I don't think I've ever met someone that takes that much pride in their work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ATV in the chat. I'm surprised too. He's saying that he can't believe he doesn't collect. I thought he collect. That's why I asked the question.
Well, he collects his own stuff.
I know, and that was part of my question that I didn't ask. I was going to ask other than your own stuff, but he doesn't collect. I found that interesting because he's so good at it.
I kind of like that though. He's kind of like being cocky. He's like, you know, fuck everybody else. He's like, I collect my own shit.
I wish I could do that. I'd collect my own stuff too. I'd have every character that I actually wanted to own. I'd have them all.
Who's this piece by? You're looking at the guy who made it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It was pretty cool having him on the show. I had a great time with that. That was really good. So, man,
any other thing in the chat that you guys are thinking about talking about? Because we had some other things on the show too. We're an hour into this, and this is not MCE After Dark. So,
right.
We are there.
We are there. We are there.
Put your kids to bed. Earmuffs. Let's do it.
So, did you guys hear about the Star Wars live action TV show that they're going to be doing? They got Jon Favreau as the director.
That's a solid move as a director.
I think so too.
Anything he touches, I think, is a great. He does a great job on. I mean, look at the Iron Man movies he did; those were great.
So, ATV Racer saying that I'm too quiet. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going down right now. So, I initially had this plan for the show. You know, came home, everything was supposed to be all good and great. You know, I get home and there was a power outage at my house. 4 FP&L trucks in front of my door, and no power in the house. And then I stepped to the guy. I was like, you know, when's the power going to be back on? So he tells me 2-3 hours. You know,
when
so
it gets back on.
Yeah, basically, right? So I was like, man, you know, and we had this plan. We had, you know, Daniel Bel coming on to the show. We got all this stuff, you know, being planned to do, and I don't have any power. I don't have the show ready to go. None of the graphics ready. Everything was like panic mode. You know, my heart's beating real fast now. I'm like freaking out. I'm on the phone with Calvin. I'm like, you know, saying every obscenity and curse word that could possibly muster at that point, you know, and I'm just freaking the hell out, right? So, you know, call my wife. Wife's like, I don't know what you're going to do. She's like, why don't you go over to your brother's house? I'm like, you out your mind. My brother's got the worst internet in the world. It's like, no way that I could do it there. You know, so I spoke to one of my friends, and he was like, man, just, you know, head back to the office and you know, do it there. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm trying to keep it low key where I'm at. I'm not trying to be too loud, you know, because I'm not where I'm my usual place. So
you can't even have a beer.
yeah, I can't even get all chillax with you guys right now.
Oh, there's security cameras everywhere. It's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm doing what I can. So yeah. So anyway, that's what's going down with me. Back to the Star Wars.
Junior statue collector saying, Calvin, it's bedtime.
Oh, no, don't even start that shit tonight, all right? Don't even start that shit. We done.
Yeah.
Done.
I love you, man. I'm just playing. I had to.
He took his nap. He's good.
No, don't even. I'm good.
Yeah, I see you, man. You sitting there drinking, getting your drink on. You know,
That's right. I'm good.
Is that a Pinot?
It is, actually.
So back to the Star Wars show. I heard that they're going to be doing. It's supposed to be based on the Mandalorians, and it's going to take place like 3 years after Return of the Jedi. That's the rumor, anyway. So I think that's pretty cool. What do you all think about that? I mean, I think it should make for a good show, especially like you said with Jon Favreau directing. What he did with Iron Man, I think, was dope. I love that guy as a director.
So is that going to be like a prequel?
No.
to everything, or
This takes place after Return of the Jedi, before the events of The Force Awakens, so it's going to be like somewhere in the middle there.
so it's basically going to be like a gap filler then?
Yeah, kind of, I would say. But
Is
it's
that
a
going to
TV
be on
show.
a streaming service?
Yeah, that's supposed to be on the streaming service.
Okay.
So I think that's dope.
For me, anything that adds more content to that, it's is a plus. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything now.
Vic is saying, is that why we don't hear Scarlet? LOL.
Yeah, exactly.
So for anybody that watched What's Poppin' Pop Off Live Friday night, that was hilarious. His daughter was banging on the door. Daddy, knock knock. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Both of us were trying our damnedest to keep a straight face.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
It was great.
That was pretty nuts. Lost my belt. We're going to have to try to get that back on Friday. But all right. It was cool, though. It was cool. So what else happened, man? Did you guys check out the Outlaw King today? The trailer?
Yes, I did. I watched that. I did watch it, and it looks pretty epic.
I think it looks dope. You guys, what about you guys? Did you guys manage to take that out? I know I sent you guys the link or anything.
Yeah, no, I looked at it.
I looked at it.
I thought it looked pretty cool. It looked interesting.
So
usually if the trailer can hold my attention, I'm usually good.
Yeah, man, it's supposed to be about Robert the Bruce, which it takes place after the events of the movie Braveheart. So it's in that era, and it has Chris Pine as the actor, main guy. He's playing Robert the Bruce, and it has a real epic feel to it. I think it's gonna be pretty dope. And
Steve Trevor.
Who's Steve Trevor?
Yes. Chris Pine, Steve Trevor from Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. Okay. Left field, bro. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool. Calvin, this one's going to be on. It said that it's going to be in select theaters, but it's also going to be on Netflix, which I think is weird. It's because I would think that having it there, who's going to go pay to go see the movie if you could just watch it for free on Netflix?
I think I'm just speculating, but it makes sense because I've heard them talk about it. They have certain things that they have to do to get a movie to be considered for an Oscar, and I think they release it in limited release at theaters so that it can get considered for an Oscar, and then like the day after they stream it on Netflix. I think they did that with Mudbound, with the Mary J. Blige movie, because she got nominated for an Academy Award, and that came out at the theaters, and then shortly after was streamed on Netflix. And that movie got a ton of, not a ton, but I know it got several nominations for an Oscar.
Okay. Hey, maybe that's what they're going to do here. It looks really cool. I have the trailer. The people in the panel won't be able to hear it if I play it, but the group can. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer, let me know in the comments if you guys want to check it out. I'll pump it up right now and you guys can see it.
Play it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah?
Let's do it. What the hell?
All right. Let's see what we got. I got a couple trailers here, so let's see. First look. What do we got? Outlaw King. Here we go.
Somebody said John had dial-up internet. Oh, man, that's messed up.
He kind of does. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Put this.
Thinking about revenge?
Where's Robert? Where's your husband?
It tears at the soul.
Where's your brother?
But it can also be a weapon.
I'm done with running and I'm sick of hiding.
Power is making decisions. And whatever course you are charting, I choose you. My husband.
We need to unite Scotland.
Robert the Bruce is an outlaw. Any man or woman who would give shelter to him or his ranks is to be executed without trial.
The people are desperate for justice.
I serve Robert Bruce! Join us to free our
I have 50 men to fight the strongest dog in the world. This is how we do it. Take the land back, castle by castle. We could fight for God, for country, for
family. I do not care so long as you fight.
All right. So
Looked pretty epic.
I think it looked epic.
Looks pretty awesome, actually.
They never take our freedom.
Got a big budget for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, I mean, you saw the guy who was like, I pledged myself to. I wonder if that was William Wallace. That'd be kind of cool if it was, if it kind of overlaps. That'd be dope.
I'm sure they'll do that because it's, people want to see the connection there for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be dope. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
definitely
as long as
excited
it's
about
better
that.
than Game of Thrones, it's all that matters.
Oh,
Here we go. Here we go. I'm out.
You need to show a trailer of Game of Thrones just for Seth.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God, Seth.
As long as it's better than the Thrones.
Yeah, whatever. So the other one that you showed me, George, was pretty awesome. I hadn't even heard about this video game, man.
Yeah, it's called The Sinking City.
You gotta play that trailer. I watched it once, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
But before we move on, let's do this. People are still chatting about the other one. Yes, Ed, dude, that one is based on a true story. So
Well, it says untold true story.
Right, but I mean, as much of a true story as you get, it's probably just as much of a true as probably like Braveheart. So there's probably going to be a lot of speculation, I would think, in the movie. There's a lot of things that weren't recorded completely. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be something pretty epic to see. So can't wait for that. Definitely going to watch it. So maybe even we could do a review on that. That'd be kind of dope.
Trailer reaction?
Or we just did a trailer reaction.
Oh, that was one. That's pretty cool. It's the Pinot.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so moving on to the next thing that we had, the Sinking City, like what Calvin was talking about there. So the Sinking City is this video game that I just saw the trailer to today, actually. And this thing has a inspiration from the books by Lovelace, I think is his last name, H.P. Lovelace. So, you have Cthulhu in there and all of those monsters. And let me show you guys what this thing looks like. And it's, again, something pretty wild to check out. So, hold on. All right, here we go.
This is a trippy ass looking game.
Oh, God.
That looks like to me like if Indiana Jones was having a bad trip.
So, sorry, H.P. Lovecraft is who that was based, is the stories that it's based on. But yeah, that is a trippy looking game, right?
It's like every door he opened led to like something else. 1 minute he's like on land, then all of a sudden the ocean just comes crashing down on him. It's like, holy crap.
It's nuts. So from what I read about it, the game takes place in Massachusetts. I can't remember the name of the town that they chose, but basically what the story is it's during the 20s. So the Roaring 20s is the era that it's going for, and it's this guy who ends up in this town just when it becomes infected by this disease or something happened there, and he's exploring. So the major part of the game is going to be exploring this town and trying to figure out what happened. So it's kind of like a mystery, and then in the middle of all this you have this craziness, all this horror and everything. So
have they showed any gameplay footage yet? Because I think I got like just by watching this, I got a feeling that it might be a like a third person, like kind of like an Uncharted kind of.
I don't know.
That's the kind of feel that I got from it.
That's the first trailer that I've seen of it. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing more. But yeah, it looks cool. So Edu says, I hate game trailers that like that show absolutely zero in-game footage.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up on that. The concept looks amazing, but I've been burned many times with cool-looking trailers.
True.
You get the game and you're just like,
true.
If I take it back to GameStop, I can get $35 right now.
As a diehard Yankee fan, I am completely glad that Massachusetts is underwater.
Yeah, man. I thought it looked cool. Definitely.
No, it looks freaking cool. I mean, it reminded me a little bit of BioShock for some reason. It looks like it's definitely gonna have some sort of puzzle element because it keeps like turning the environment around.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like I said, they haven't shown much on gameplay. All I've seen is a lot of different footage. Like what they have is like stills, and it all looks very similar to what you're seeing right there. So it has like a very high level graphics. So I think it's gonna be similar to what we're seeing right there. Maybe third person shooter, maybe first person view. So I don't know. What really got to me was the minute I saw Cthulhu. It's because I was introduced to these characters through the statues, and the minute I saw that statue, I was like, I know who that dude is. So it made me want to know more. So I was like, this is cool.
Talking about graphics, NVIDIA just announced their new graphics cards.
They did. Expensive.
I want the 2080 Ti, but it's $1,200.
Yeah, man.
God damn!
And I checked Newegg. It's sold out. It's sold out
already.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know how many pops I could buy for $1,200?
Not the 2080 regular, but the Ti sold out. Yeah.
Damn. For $1,200? God damn.
$1,200, man. It's got a lot of horsepower. It's been a while. They put a delay since the last one that released because I think they overproduced the last model because of miners, cryptocurrency miners. And once that died down, NVIDIA came out and said, we're not going to come out with anything for a while. The reason why they said that is because they wanted people to buy the overstock of their freaking overproduced 1080s. And now they're finally coming out with the 20 series. So, just random thoughts.
No, man, I saw that today too. I wanted to see more about it until somebody told me it was $1,200, and I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's like I'm good with my 980 Ti still. It runs everything pretty good.
Right? Like, man, I don't need that up level graphics for that.
Someone that shall be nameless, made me buy a certain computer game.
No.
And made me upgrade the graphics card on my PC for a game that we only played once.
No.
So I went out. I spent.
What game was that?
It was Titanfall.
No. So let's lay that one out there, bro. All right, so Titanfall was a game that we were all really anticipating, right? Thought the game looked amazing, and it did look fantastic. We take, and I bought it for Xbox, Seth bought it for Xbox, and two of our other friends, that one doesn't have an Xbox and the other one just will not play anything but PC. So he gets it for PC, and so does the other guy. And I want to play with more people, you know. So I take, and I already have a computer that can run this. I take and put that and I play it on the PC also. I own it now for both Xbox and for PC, so that I could play with Seth and I could play with these other guys too. Seth doesn't want to be left out, you know. So Seth runs out, drops some crazy money on this graphics card to be able to run. I think it was a
GX 660.
At the time, it was expensive. It was like a $400 card, right?
Yeah.
$400 card. So we put this game in. He joins with us, and we beat the game in the same night. You know, and I'm like, holy shit, this game is short.
The story mode, but we didn't play multiplayer. We only played the story mode, and that was it.
We beat the game in the same night. And I'm like, and even in Titanfall, the story mode is kind of like multiplayer, though. It's because it has, you play against the other people, basically, and then you just switch sides on the other way around. It was a waste of money, that game. That game was too short for what they were charging for it. Unfortunately, Seth bought an expensive card to hang out with us. But that wasn't my fault.
Good times.
So, still.
Yeah, I do. I've known to do some crazy shit in my time, so spending $400 on a graphics card definitely is up in the top 10.
Yo, did you guys hear about Stranger Things 3? Or the season 3? Did you guys watch Stranger Things? Any of you?
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the second one yet.
You haven't watched the second one?
I'm right there with Eric.
What about you, Calvin? Did you watch it?
No, I have not.
You haven't watched Stranger Things, man? Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Hey,
I'm
look,
going to give you a list.
Never mind. I'm not even start that. But yeah, I didn't do it.
Are we gonna have another ET? Are we gonna have another ET moment with Calvin?
We need another ET moment with Calvin. Stranger Things is something
what did you hear?
Watch. So anyway, David Harbour is saying that Stranger Things season 3 is going to be inspired by the movie Fletch, which I think is crazy. Fletch is a comedy, you know, and Stranger Things is kind of more horror, and you know, it just, I feel like, I guess it's really strange for Stranger Things.
So they just gonna have basically just gonna have like Hopper going around acting like Fletch, dressing up as different characters, trying to interview people. I mean, it's like, God, it's like, come up with something original, please. Just come up with something original. That's how I feel about it.
I just think it's weird.
It is weird because in no way, shape, or form is Fletch a sci-fi, you know, a horror type of thing. It's about a goofy, dumb investigative reporter that basically goes ahead and tries to get the scoop on a story, and I mean, that's it. And it's like, I don't understand what that has to do with monsters and demigorgons and, you know, what other, you know, 11 with her egos and whatever nonsense, you know, goes on in Stranger Things.
That dude says, Calvin, you're fucking up, bro. You got to watch Stranger Things.
Calvin's like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I'm good.
It's a really good TV show, man. You really should give it a chance. You should watch it. It's really good, especially season 1. I really like season 1.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Punisher to come back on.
Oh yeah,
damn right.
Punisher's gonna be good. Is that the next one? I heard that there was
Iron Fist. The second season of Iron Fist comes out next.
I saw the trailer of that. That looked good.
What's up, Eric? What's up, Cap?
He didn't like
Iron Fist, man. Jeez.
What's up, Cap?
I rather watch Luke Cage than watch Iron Fist.
I'm the reverse.
Can you just say you'd rather watch Game of Thrones than Iron Fist? Can you do that for me?
No.
Yeah, he's
the only way I will watch Game of Thrones is if the Mother of Dragons is naked in every single episode. Thank you. Good night.
This guy.
Damn.
This guy.
Dragons and titties.
Oh my god. Here we go. And this is where it gets into MC evenings.
Oh my god.
Seriously,
Daredevil coming back soon, right?
Daredevil. I did hear that there is something else that hasn't been announced yet, but one of these other people that I follow, and she's actually already seen something new that's Marvel based that's from Netflix, but she hasn't said what it was yet.
Well, a lot of people in the chat are saying Iron Fist and then Daredevil.
It has to be Daredevil. It's because we already got season 2 of Jessica Jones, of Luke Cage, Now this one, so the only thing left is
Season
Daredevil.
2 of Iron Fist, and then but the curious thing is like, how are they really going to go and try to resurrect Daredevil after what happened with the Defenders?
Nah, he ain't dead. He ain't dead. He used his vision to go through all the rocks. He could hear them falling or something.
I keep hearing these rumors about Moon Knight. Lewis just posted that too. Anybody got any stories they've read about that coming out yet?
Not yet. That would be cool.
Dragons and titties.
It's right, man. Dragons and titties. All day long, dragons and titties.
George, control your boy.
I can't control him. I try to control him. He's like the Juggernaut. Once he starts moving in a direction, you can't stop him.
Oh, we lost Calvin. He's done.
Calvin's done.
He's going to go take a nap. He'll be back.
Went to go take a 5-minute power nap.
Jesus.
I don't know. The season 2 of Iron Fist looks kind of promising, I hope.
I don't hope so. I was just bored with it, man. I got angry at that character. He was just kind of always like mopey and like, life is just not going my way.
I agree.
Yeah, I've got billions of dollars, and I just don't know what to do.
And I'm a trained assassin. I got money, and I could kick people's ass.
And you got a fist that glows, man. I would kill for a fist that glows.
Season 2 is going to have an enemy that also has a fist that glows, so they'll be fisting each other.
Wah, wah. You trying to take my jokes now? Wow, dude. That was definitely a play out of the Seth book. Very un-Medina-like.
Oh, man. I have not had dinner. I didn't think this was going to go this long. I'm freaking starving.
You should have had dinner, dude.
No, I was like, all right, go for an hour. Got something at 9.
I like how Junior Espinosa is like, if you're not into Game of Thrones, then you just failed at life.
I agree with him on that one, Seth.
And then, but
you are a big fail.
Out of all people, your brother comes to my defense and he says nobody puts Seth in the corner. Thank you, John.
Because there's not a corner big enough that could hold you.
There is.
Have you guys seen Marco Polo? I haven't seen it. I heard it was actually pretty good. It's on
No,
Netflix.
I've never seen Marco Polo. He's very hard to find.
I've seen a couple of episodes of Marco Polo. It was good. So, definitely worth watching.
Man.
Man,
hey, John Medina, are you watching anything right now on Netflix? He can hear us.
He has Netflix.
What's John saying, that you eat like 4 breakfasts? Is that even possible?
Got to keep that body going.
I eat a lot at work. So he's just making fun of me. We got a full kitchen, man, and they buy groceries and stuff. I'm constantly in there, I make
totally
breakfast
agree.
when I get in.
Eat, man. It's food. It's food.
Vic said Calvin's filming from the bed now.
Oh, God. So, what about this meetup, George?
You want to do a meetup?
Yeah.
I'm down for a meetup.
West Palm or Orlando, Mr. Disneyland?
Disney
World.
Ooh.
Hey, when I said that, I meant that, I would go to Disney World afterwards. I didn't say they actually have the meetup in Disney World. Any excuse to find a way to take my daughters and myself to the park, I'm always down for that. But no, we could do it in West Palm if you want to do it in West Palm.
What did you say, Eric?
Oh, it was Disney World. No, we gotta take you to Tate's, right? You
Yeah,
didn't
too.
No, I didn't.
We got to take you to Tate's, past, present, and future.
Yo, I got a funny Disney story to tell you though. So this past week, a week before we went to Disney, and it's my daughter's 4th birthday. So we took her there, and actually my daughter's 1st birthday tomorrow. So we took them to Disney, right? So Scarlett is now tall enough to ride roller coasters. So she's been wanting to ride the Slinky Dog at the the Toy Story Land that just came out?
Yeah, Toy Story Land.
Yeah. So she's like, I want to do it, Daddy. I want to do it. I'm like, all right, let's do this. So we get to this thing, and this roller coaster is a legit roller coaster. So I see this, I'm like, So I'm like, this is a little big. So, she looks up at it, and she's just like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. I'm like, no, we're already here. I've been standing in line. We're going to do this. So we go through this 80-minute wait to get to the front of this line, right? And we get there. We get the back seat of this roller coaster, and she's sitting there next to me. She makes the cut. She can get on it. So by the first bend, my daughter is like, Daddy, I want off this ride. And she's like, no more, right? So we get to this part where there's like this major humps and there's this huge climb and a fall, and she is screaming like death is coming for her, you know. And all I could do is laugh, you know. So we get off.
Laughing at your kid.
I'm laughing at my kid. I know. I get off this ride, you know, and I have this all on camera too. I wanted to put like a YouTube video on this. So we get off this ride. I got the camera to her and I'm like, Mija, like, you want to do this ride again? She's like, no, I don't like this ride, you know. And I'm looking at the camera like I'm such a bad father for bringing her on this ride. But man, it was great. It was great.
We got people in the chat demanding that they see the belt. Well, it's right there.
Whatever.
It's the champ is here.
Till Friday, man. Till George gets it back. I'm just saying. Can you smell?
Whoa! Don't steal my shit.
Oh, I'm not stealing shit. I've been doing that since 2001. Do you see this? Do you see that?
Is that the people's Puerto Rican eyebrow?
Right. I mean, I love it. I'll tell you this. I love it when you do it on your show, man. It just gets me all. Oh,
dude, I love the Bullet Club. I love the Bullet Club shirt, man.
Thank you. I got to see Kenny Omega in person. Shook his hand.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. He must be a cool guy.
He's super cool, man. Super cool. I saw him in Orlando, Tampa.
Here we go. It's being requested, George. ATV Racer wants a Ric Flair. I don't know. Woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, jet flying. Woo!
Oh my god!
I think we should have Eric do the pop off with Seth over here. I think that'd be a better competition than me. What y'all think?
You want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
I think so. I think Eric wants that belt. Eric, you want that belt, bro?
I do want that belt.
All right, man.
I got to find my book with the Rock's Cooking. It's somewhere around here.
All right, man.
You have the Rock's Cooking cookbook?
I think I'm going to start going pop hunting with
You know what? That'd be
Eric.
perfect. Actually, that's a good idea.
I think he made one.
I think I'm going to start going pop hunting with Eric, and then Eric will represent in there, and I think he'll take that belt from you, Seth.
He needs a little wrestling competition. He's constantly throwing it at you. I can bring the pain, man.
There you go.
Junior Statue Collector is saying Calvin and Seth see you in NY would like to show us Midtown Comics.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
that is one place I would actually love to see. Cletus actually just did a series of videos where he was touring New York, and he was in the city, and he went to Forbidden Planet, Toy Tokyo, Midtown Comics.
I saw the Forbidden Planet one. That looked dope.
I want to do all of those. I want to go on those.
No, for real, man. Those places, the places look ridiculous. I think the one place I'm actually really excited, if we get time to go see, would definitely be Toy Tokyo, because they get a lot of exclusives from Funko. So for me, that's a pop hunter's dream. You know, so that definitely one of the places I'd love to hit up.
Hey, JR, hit me up on Facebook, man, so we can plan that out and plan to meet up there.
That'd be dope. That would be cool. Definitely, if you guys do that, you guys need to video record that, please.
MCE on the road.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what's popping hits the road. Popping off on the road. Road popping.
I'm still gonna get my man Cletus to come over and do the pop off with you. Have him take that belt from you for like 2 or 3 months.
He needs to come on the show, and he needs to come at me.
Anybody that could beat Seth, come on the show and take his belt from him. I would
Seth
enjoy
wouldn't
that.
stand a chance.
I would enjoy that.
That belt would be gone. Belt would be gone forever.
Vic is saying triple threat match.
So
3 shall enter, only 1 shall leave victorious. Eric's like, boom, Captain America, I'm out.
Yo, did you hear that the Meg movie was like topping charts, man? I heard that it did better than the man, I can't remember the movie right now.
What, Deep Blue Sea?
Jurassic Park, Kingdom, whatever.
It did better than it did better than Ready Player One.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
So who in the chat has seen Meg so far? I haven't seen it, man, and I want to see it.
Yeah, now I want to see it. Now I just want to know what all the hype's about. So, I mean, I didn't really want to see it. I mean, I did kind of. It's like one of those guilty pleasure things. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll go check it out, maybe not. It's like Sharknado, you know? I heard there's a 4th one of that coming out.
No, it's a 6th. It's a 6th.
You went to see that at the theaters, George?
What, Sharknado?
Yeah.
No, they don't have that at theaters. It's on
oh, okay.
It's on Sci-Fi Channel.
Sci-Fi Channel. So, but from what people are saying, it like lies between Sharknado and Jaws.
Wait, that you know how big that spectrum is?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a big
Every
shark.
movie ever made about water does that.
It's a big shark.
Waterworld.
No kidding.
Waterworld didn't have any sharks, did it?
No, but what Calvin's saying that there's such a wide spectrum. You know,
Between Sharknado and Megan, every movie ever made in the ocean fits in that category.
Yeah, I mean, shit. You got Pirates of the Caribbean. You got what is it? What was it? Speed 2 Cruise Control when they're on the yacht.
That's awesome.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. 300 mil worldwide. That's what this thing's made. When I saw the trailer of that thing, I was like, this is going to be a flop. That is the most successful flop I've ever seen in my life.
All I want to note is, like, Jason Statham, like, go head-to-head with the Megan, like, try to do, like, some karate, like, transporter shit on him? Or is it just, like...
It's going to be you and me in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be dope.
I couldn't find the Rock book, but
he went
on the Yes book.
Oh, you got the Daniel Bryan book, man. Nice. I actually, if you really want to go there, I have the Rock book. It's in my nightstand drawer.
I actually
Seth reads
supposed to read a book in 9th grade high school. That's what I read, and that's what I gave my presentation on.
Freshman year of college, I did my autobiography on Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. All I can say is wow.
George is like, wow.
A redneck TV show.
That's what America coming to these days.
He's like, I gotta get out of this office and I gotta go home right now.
No, that's right. George isn't home. How far away do you have to drive?
About a half-hour drive.
What a trooper!
Hey man, I had to make this show happen.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's give George a round of applause for making the sacrifice, going to his job to make this show work.
That he's been at all day already.
All day. I mean,
I'm surprised you haven't ran into the cleaning people yet, like vacuuming, like while you're trying to do the show.
I muted the mic when you guys were talking to Daniel Bel.
Oh, why they were there?
Oh, that's why I didn't see you there. You had the mic muted.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple times I was trying to get in and say something, but then the mic was cutting in and out, and Seth is kind of a hard voice to overpower, so.
Here we go again. Everything's my fault.
It's always your fault, bro.
Swear, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, the mic was mostly having issues. But no, I put it on mute for a little bit. So, plus you guys were doing some good flow, man. That was some real good questions you guys were giving to Daniel. I was digging it, man. I was enjoying watching you guys. So.
Yeah. Hey, Seth. Right before we go up to New York, man, we need to create sort of like a little chat group for the people that are up there that we're gonna hook up with, so we can coordinate that and hook up, man. That'd be awesome.
Let's meet the fans of MCE.
True.
That'd be awesome.
Me and Calvin will set up a booth outside of New York Comic Con, meet and greet with MCE, sign autographs, take pictures.
Yeah. My first thing is I'm making a beeline to Daniel Bel's new sculpt. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. While you do that, I will be sitting for endless hours, waiting to get into the Funko booth.
By your damn self too, because I won't be doing that.
Nope. I will be sitting by my lonesome. Well, you know what? Maybe Cletus can come and keep me company.
Well, if you hook up with Cletus, he may get you around some of those obstacles.
Dude, if he does that, like, I'm fully indebted to that guy for like life.
Yeah, he may get you around some of those obstacles.
Cletus, if you're watching, let's do it.
Definitely stop by Charles Carosa's booth.
Yeah.
That artwork there is amazing. Definitely
I got to meet him with you guys when we were in New York. That was pretty cool.
San Diego.
San Diego. I said New York. Yeah,
no,
I'm already past that.
It's pronounced Santiago.
If we go next year, man, I want to stay in the same house at the same place.
That's where you want to go again?
Nah. Hell yeah, I want to go again.
The pictures that you guys were taking from that place looked awesome.
I want to stay in the same house.
I thought the house was amazing. I thought the internet sucked. So the next place we get, I want better internet when we go there.
Okay, my hotspot worked fine, so that's
can't do a live show with hotspot.
But same place, man. If we go back.
So these guys are asking about the meetup. So how are we gonna do this if we do a meetup?
You got to decide where. Are you deciding that it's going to be in
West Palm? You said you want to do it in West Palm, right? So we'll do it in West Palm.
Yeah.
The thing is too is that I'd really like to see if we can get some of the guys from Immortalized to show up also, because those are my boys too. So I know,
and they're right up. Some
right
of them
up in
are right up the
Orlando.
road in Orlando, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to talk to them and see if they can stop by.
I got an idea. Let's meet up in Port St. Lucie. It's in between everything.
Not really.
Port St. Lousy.
Yeah. There's nothing
What
there
George
but
should
thousand
do
horses.
is George should do is find out if that arcade place can allow us to rent out the back space over there, and we do a show from there and hang out in that freaking.
I thought that arcade would.
Just tell them we're advertising the place. We'll put it up on YouTube too. They'll be like, you know what? Just take it for free.
You guys wouldn't want to go to a place that had like more new games though, not just the older games like that.
We want to play your old ass pinball games.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hey man, if you want to play the old pinball games, I'm good with that. Yeah,
they had a bar there, so it worked out.
The bar was great. I love that.
They have 4 bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And up the road, they had some good food.
It was fun. It was fun too having your brother there wrecking everybody in Street Fighter.
Yeah, I still think something was wrong with the controller. I think the issue was that the controller was failing.
Let's not blow smoke here, okay?
Yeah.
John was there, dude. John was wrecking shop, dude. I got to give credit where credit's due.
Sometimes I felt bad, so I was just like,
I know.
Oh, you got me, man. And your brother's like, yeah, fuck you, Eric. And
I totally agree with you, Eric. I took like some long blinks.
Drink my beer.
I'd be sitting there playing, and I'd be like closing my eyes for a second, open my eyes a little bit, make sure that he had a chance.
He's gonna give me crap tomorrow. He's gonna be like, "Yo, ping pong right now. Let's go."
Yeah.
We have ping pong tournaments.
He's got the link to this. He's probably just gonna jump in on the chat in a little bit with his bad internet.
John said, "Don't lie, E."
I know. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth, man. Where is it?
JR, I'll be there Thursday too, man.
So
early, way early.
Look at that. I know what's up.
Street Fighter 5. It's not the same Street Fighter. I feel like the older Street Fighter was more hard than the new one. What do you think?
There's definitely more layers now with like V triggers and things like that. You can get definitely it gets a little bit more complex.
It's different.
But classic is still good. I mean, I still love Street Fighter 2. I grew up with that.
True.
How many games have you won in ping pong? Well, currently I'm going against Jay, and I'm winning that tournament. As far as you, I still haven't beaten you.
Wow.
We're talking about Street Fighter, though.
You heard it here first, folks. MCE Live, That Geek Show. Eric keeps losing to John.
Hey, don't worry about it, Eric. Your photo on the.
So when are you coming down? When are we doing this? When is this happening? When is this meetup happening?
You just gotta tell me when.
Oh, it's really dependent on you because you're the furthest away from us. You'll be flying in. I don't know how many people would fly in. Oh, we'll see. Well, we got to see, and we got to see where we're going to do it too. There's a clubhouse in my neighborhood.
Dude, let's take that shit to Boomers or Dave and Buster's, man.
That's actually pretty good. You know, you can have more games and whatnot.
Down. We still would need to have a big enough. It depends on how many people would be coming, and then we'd have to set it up like that too. Do you guys want to do a show of this, or do you guys want to just be a meetup? What do you guys think?
I'm good either way, man. I just enjoy being in everybody's company, so I don't care where we go.
True.
Right. Just make sure whoever has the belt brings it along.
Oh well, that's the rule, man. Whoever has the belt at the time, man. That's that championship world tour.
Or maybe we could do like several different shows from it. Man, we can't do an unboxing from a damn place, especially as big as some of these boxes are. Calvin, wait until you see that Devilman versus Eamon box, bro.
Yeah, I saw it. It's probably, the Ghost Rider box, and that was pretty big too, man.
Was it?
It came.
That was huge.
It came into the office while George was away, and George is like, "What's the matter, man?" I'm like, "Dude, you've got to see the size of this freaking box." And he's like, "Well, how are we going to get it here?" I'm like, "Well, your closest friend just happens to have a pickup truck, so throw it in the bed of the truck." But that thing took up like almost the whole bed of my 5-foot truck. That thing was massive.
Damn, it looks amazing. It looks great.
Yeah, it's big.
Mine hasn't shipped yet, but I have no idea where I'm going to put that thing now.
It's big.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Wah, wah.
All right,
guys. I gotta go. I gotta eat. It's 10 o'clock.
Well, wait up. I'm gonna shut it down right now.
2 hours.
I feel you. I'm gonna shut it down right now. You can go eat.
And
I thought we were going to build up stamina and keep going like an extra hour. Like every.
No, please do not be discouraged by me. But remember, your boy George is still at the office, and they're probably going to call security on his ass any second now.
Probably. So, all right, hold on. I'm going to shut it down right now. Wait, man. Before you go, bro, I don't want you to go without saying peace. Just hold on. Wait. All right.
Oh, my bad. Okay, absolutely. Awesome.
All right, we're going to shut it down right now.
Chilling. Oh, by the way, John said he's going to buy Street Fighter 5 to take this guy down. I don't know if we can stream that or put it on PlayStation Stream and link it up so we can see me destroying John. I'll make sure to bring a camera.
Yeah. And George, did you show the photo? I mean, the poster before the show started, or was it after?
I showed it before, but I showed it again. I know Seth loves seeing himself on it, so let's do it.
Oh yeah, I'm so thrilled.
You are. I know.
Ever so thrilled.
I love it. I love it.
I love the poster.
It's a great poster. It's a great poster.
This face.
There's no denying that.
So I love this face right here. This is my favorite.
No, put it back because it keeps going away.
I mean, it's right there.
There it is.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I love Captain Puerto Rico. That's awesome.
Everybody just brings.
It's like that He-Man. He's got like that He-Man pose. Like, I have the power.
George was like, Eric, I need you to do this, like this. I'm like this. George's like, no, like this. I think I took like 50 photos until I got it right.
It wasn't just you. Me too, man. I sent George probably 30 photos.
You know what's really fucked up is that you guys actually got the pose. He just took my picture from somewhere.
Hey, that's because you don't need.
It's because all your pictures are awesome. It doesn't matter which one he picks.
You don't need any direction, bro. You don't need any direction, Seth. You got that face.
I'm just a one-man ass-kicking photogenic machine.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so guys. So before we head out of here, what do you guys got coming up? Just let everybody know what you got coming up on your shows. Calvin, do you have any reviews coming anytime soon? What's going on this week for you?
Yeah, I got a couple of them I'm working on. They'll be up. That's all I got to say. I'm being lazy as shit right now.
I'm gonna call out Vic. Vic, I'm still here. So that statement is false.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Oh my god, yeah, man, I got that. But more than anything, I'm just getting prepared for New York, man. We got like less than 40 days to go.
Right. Hopefully, I'll have those flyers ready for you to take with you.
That would be awesome to have those ready. And you said you
that
were
would be cool.
Gonna ship the well, we'll talk about that off camera. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got going on.
All right, Seth, got anything coming up?
What we have going on is what's popping. That's what's going on. So tomorrow morning. Check the MCE channel, new episode, What's Poppin', and then Friday, we've got What's Poppin' Friday Night Pop-Offs, where it's me versus the Somewhat Marvelous Night.
What?
And we will be doing another
talking way too much smack.
You see,
talking way too much smack.
Is there a mute button? Created George. Now that his videos are getting all these damn views, he's just got a big.
Listen,
I'm gonna mute this dude.
If you ever, Eric would understand, because if you watch professional wrestling, I'm hyping it up.
He's hyping it up.
Okay, I want to take a moment right now and say something to Seth. And I spoke to to John at the office about this. Like, the energy you bring to your show, I freaking love it, man. Like, I'll come home with my chicken tender sub, after getting out of work, going to the gym. I sit down at the table, I prop my phone, and I'm like, all right, it's popping time. It's so good, man. It's so good. And I like what you're doing with the show. Keep it up. Keep the energy going. You should have more followers, in my opinion. It's going to keep growing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That really means a lot, man, because...
No, I'm being serious. Like, it's just I'm like this. I'm like, oh...
I appreciate this. Me and George were actually talking about that today. Like, how at one point I just kind of felt like it wasn't going anywhere, and then just out of the blue I got rejuvenated, and like now I'm just hitting the ground running.
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened.
Everything's been working.
You were The Rock in what was that pay-per-view that he premiered? Was it SummerSlam? And he slowly started evolving his character, and now you've just you are the
People's Pop Champ.
The People's Pop Champ, yeah. Oh you found who you are.
Yeah, I found my niche. But we are doing a live giveaway.
Jorge's like, what the
characters?
That head is gonna keep getting bigger.
Calvin, right? Okay.
Yeah. So we are doing another live giveaway on Friday night. We will not be doing that giveaway unless we get 40 people in that chat. I think 40 people is a reasonable number. There's no reason why we can't hit it. I will be giving away a minty fresh Target exclusive ad icon Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear! So we'll be giving away Sugar Bear.
How fitting.
I am, because I'm just full of sugar and I'm big as a bear. It works perfect. So again, everybody, pay attention to tomorrow morning. There will be a new episode of What's Poppin' Hunting, and there will also be a new episode of What's Poppin' Friday Night Fights, where again I take on the not so marvelous Knight.
Yo, you need to stop with that shit, bro. We'll put you on
not
mute.
So marvelous Night.
This dude, bro.
George just kick his ass on Friday.
I know, bro.
What are you talking about? George's going to kick my ass tomorrow when I walk into the office.
George should have won this
tomorrow,
last
this shit.
Oh, here we go.
I'm saying, I just played my cards wrong. That was it.
Iron Man was nice.
I played my cards wrong. Had I done the Hulkbuster first, that would have beat the Thanos pop. I would have beat him on the second one, and then no matter how much he comes in with those stupid ass grails, he would have lost.
Yeah.
So
Vic is saying Seth needs an intro.
You do have an intro.
John is saying I love Target. You are so wrong, John. I hate Target.
He loves Target employees.
If I can burn that shit down to the ground, I would do it.
This guy.
And yes, Jesse Hernandez, I am everyone's Sugar Bear.
Seth is our Sugar Bear.
Yeah, I know, right? He's full of love.
So, thank you, everybody. Peace. I'm out of here.
Damn. All right. Anyway,
Too sweet.
Coming from me this week, we got a Storm review that I'm going to be doing, and then we also have an unboxing and review of the Thor Ragnarok statue by Figurama Collectors, so that's going to be coming as well. And I'm planning here and there, might do another one. I know I got 3 statues right now to do, so we'll see. I don't know. Not promising anything yet. But that's what's up. And Friday, I'm taking that belt back, so that's what's up too. All right. So, for all you guys that have been hanging out with us for 2 hours, I appreciate it. Actually, a little 2 hours and 12 minutes.
George, you didn't ask about me.
Eric, do you have anything coming out? You doing a video? Are you doing a video?
I mean, I don't have a show, but I am jumping out of a goddamn plane this Saturday, and hopefully I don't die. And if I have footage, I'll bring it.
Where are you going?
What do you mean if you have footage, man? I did that 2 years ago. It's amazing. You got to do it. Yes.
Okay, I'll buy the video. It's like $75 more.
Oh, it wasn't that much. I don't know. You better have somebody on the ground filming.
Hell yeah. we'll put that on the channel.
I paid for the video too, but it's worth it, man.
Yeah.
We'll put that on the channel.
Gonna do it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, George.
We'll definitely put
He's
that on the channel.
Jumping out of the plane. That pops. That tops everybody.
Yeah.
He should get the belt just for that.
I should jump out of the plane with the belt. I should go to the show on Friday with my pops and just fucking take that shit and just.
Who's the pop champ now?
Dead.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for the show. I hope you all had a good time. It's been 2 hours and 13 minutes, so it's been pretty damn good. That's some pretty good stuff right there. So you can catch more videos just like this at mccentral.com, as well as a wealth of information about collecting, about movies, TV shows, all kinds of geek stuff. Is because that's what we like talking about. And you can catch this show every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check us out next week when we come back with That Geek Show. So until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.
Keep it marvelous.
The champ is out.